Well, I figured before I go to bed, because I'm gonna have a long day tomorrow, I'll tell my story now, and then you guys will get it in the morning when you wake up. I had seen a maroon colored Camaro on Craigslist for sale back when I was in the military. And this thing was like a 90 305 manual. Loved the look of this car. I went and picked it up. Drove great, no power, it was a dog. Nothing too special about it. We were living in condos, so I parked it all the way up the drive in the condo. You fit 2 or 3 cars in a row in the military condos that we were living in down on Polk. And I parked it all the way up front, closest to the door. And I parked my vehicle behind it. I had a Z71. At the time it was a 95 or 96. I've had so many damn cars, it's unreal. I don't even remember all the cars I've had. The 95 or a 96, I think it was a 96. 96 Z71, parked behind it. So I'm working on this car over a few weeks period. I see another car. I'm trying to haggle with the guy, Guy won't buy it. He won't budge. We're about to deploy. While I'm in Iraq, I take my mid-tour leave and I go to Florida. When I flew into Florida, I had pre-purchased off eBay a 1986 Chevy Camaro that a man had passed away, and he built what was his version of the Daytona version. He mimicked his race truck. He raced those little small trucks at the Daytona Speedway, and he built a replica of his truck, but in Camaro form. It was a small block 350 punched out to a 355. It had I probably say this wrong sometimes, a Win single plane high-rise intake. It had a Holley 750 four-barrel carburetor on it. It had Hedman headers. It was a Edelbrock water pump, a 4-core high-flow radiator. I don't know if it was stamped Goodyear or if it was Continental or something or whatever it was at the time. Upper and lower radiator hoses with steel braiding and the custom chrome caps to dress everything up to the water neck and everything else. Everything MSD, tucked away real nice on this thing. Custom hand-built overflow tank for the radiator, the reservoir for the power steering, custom made, and just a phenomenal vehicle, something unique. He had it looked like it was lowered a few inches. He had some really aggressive Kraggers on it, and some really beefy, meaty, like Indy tires on it. Really wide looking. Thing hugged the road. I mean, you could take turns that were rated at 15-20 mile an hour and this thing at 50 mile an hour, and it would just zip right around it like you wouldn't believe. Like, this thing was made to stay on the road. One side almost sat a little lower, it felt like, than the other side, almost like he built this car to be just like his track truck. And I paid $2,500 for this car. It had a Hurst ratcheting shifter in it, turbo 400 transmission out of an RV where they took the emergency brake housing and everything off of the back and had to put a custom tail shaft, or a tail shaft that actually could bolt up to it without that e-brake assembly. An aluminum drive shaft, disc brakes all the way around, Wildwood or Willwood disc brakes all the way around, and 2.5-inch exhaust. This gorgeous sounding car. and I almost felt like I was stealing this car. It had just a set of regular Camaro seats with a flow-through console, nothing fancy in the seats. He did build some extra bracing that came up to the bottom of the seats, and what was it? Dakota digital dash. The whole entire dash assembly was nothing but digital. There wasn't mechanical anything on this. It was all digital dash. When you first key cycle on, everything would sweep. All the digital stuff would work. He had a Clarion sound system in it. Just a nice tape deck and some speakers up front. Really clear, good music coming out of the Clarion system. Just probably some of the best clarity overall that I've heard. And I was talking to the girl that was selling this car, and I thought, man, this is, this is just a woman that doesn't realize what she has. And I said, you do understand that the way this car is set up with this eagle rotating assembly and everything else, your father probably put every bit of $10,000 into this car easy. And she said, I know. My dad passed away. He left us the 240SX. He left us the Camaro. He left his Chevy truck. And the only one that we really don't like is the Camaro. It's just something we never drive, and it just sits here. Everything on it's practically brand new. Dad really enjoyed that car. When he would go race the trucks on the weekend, he was a professional, some kind of professional race car or race truck driver. If you guys ask me what his name is, I don't know. I don't know what his name was. But professional race truck driver, and he loved tinkering and building things. He loved imports just as he loved American vehicles. So he had the 240, he had the Camaro, he had a Chevy truck, and he would drive the Camaro on race day to the track, and we would all meet him there and watch him race. And he loved that car, but it wasn't his favorite car, because he did some autocrossing as well, and he would use the 240 for that. And all of his heavy work and stuff, he had it's like a 6.0 HD. That's what he would use. But the Camaro was just for driving back and forth to the track. And she said he absolutely loved that car. He would aimlessly put money into that car, knowing that he wouldn't drive the car at all until it was race day, and then he would drive it to the track for race day, which was really weird. So there's no real sentimental value. The other vehicles, yes, because he really preferred being in the Chevy truck and the 240S or his 240 all the time. And the Chevy was just kind of extra money that he was throwing. He never really cared for that car other than just for what it was. He set it up like his truck, and that was his get in the moment vehicle while he was headed out to race day to race. And that car would get him in the mood, get him functioning and stuff, get him ready for what was about to happen. And that's why we're selling the vehicle so cheap, because it didn't really mean anything to us or him. So I says, okay, it's fine. I fly in and pick it up. So I fly in on my mid-tour leave from Iraq. I get my 18-day break. I fly into Daytona, pick up the car. Absolutely a dream driving this thing. Oh my god, just so quick, and every time you ratchet it through another gear, wah, 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 just tires spinning. Just the car was unbelievable. And then I drove the car back to Louisiana where I was stationed. Parked it at my barracks, got everything tagged and all that stuff, flew back out to Florida because that's where I was flying out of to go back to Iraq. Went back to Iraq, finished out the last 6 months of my tour, flew back home from Iraq, and not barracks, I was single for the big part of that, military housing. I flew back to Louisiana, when we came back from Iraq. I have my maroon Camaro there. I have my Daytona Camaro there, custom Daytona Camaro. and then the Chevy truck there, and then a little Volkswagen Jetta that I ended up getting married and built that car for her. I ended up getting rid of both of those Camaros. And there's a part 2 to this, but I'm not going to spoil it right now. I got caught up in a scam off of Craigslist where somebody was going to pay me for both of those Camaros. They wanted the body of the one because it was in mint shape, and they wanted the other one because it was super cool, custom, one-off, you know, this man's own design. And I'm not going to ruin that right now. I had to get my bank involved, and there was a whole thing that happened when the check actually showed up, and yeah, that's for a different story. I'll let you guys have that. I'll let you have this story right now tonight about this cool custom. I think maybe I can even try to I might be able to find a picture of me standing next to this car so you guys can see how cool this car was. And then when I was much younger and probably 50, 60 pounds lighter and pretty beefy dude in the military overall, still looked like baby face and stuff. I'll give you that tonight. Actually, I'll load this tonight, and I'll give you how I almost got scammed and got into trouble because of somebody trying to purchase my vehicles off the internet. Y'all wait for that. Let me see if I can find a picture to throw in here.